we heard like my other favourite failed Lord of the Rings project prior to the Peter Jackson's film was Stanley Kubrick, the guy who made The Shining.
Oh, no.
He wanted to make a Lord of the Rings project with the 4 members of the Beatles as the 4 hobbits. Oh my god, Samwise can't swim. Look, when you jump in the water, Samwise, he starts to drown.
That's canonically correct.
Oh!
Yes. Foreshadowing!
Apparently, it's very, very rare that hobbits could swim. That's a thing. They hate open water.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they don't really have any, and it's like...
Yeah. It's that something not a lot of people realize. So that scene at the end where like Samwise is drowning and Frodo puts his hand in to like rescue him.
Hey, it's Peter Jackson. Eating his carrots.
Lego Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
But yeah,
go on.
Frodo's parents actually died in like a boating accident.
Yeah,
so
I think I knew that. Yeah,
it's deeply psychologically traumatic for Frodo, and the fact that like he gets to like learn to swim and rescue Samwise the way his parents weren't rescued, and then Samwise sticks with him. It's a much heavier thematic.
Yeah, when it's got that weight behind it. Yeah. Oh, quest unlocked. Make a Mithril trowel.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We're not bothering with that, are we?
I think we have to. I don't think we get a choice in it, Bard.
Oh, god damn.
Let's make a fire.
I really didn't come here to make Mithril trowels.
Who's got a tinderbox?
Oh. I have a tinderbox.
Did you talk to that man? You don't talk to that man. He just tells you about trowels.
Okay.
Can you come and light a fire here, then? Like this brazier.
Oh. Okay. I'll light that brazier.
That's very different. Here, come on.
There was
this brazier here.
Which brazier?
That one, with the B one.
That brazier.
Stop! I wish you would stop saying that.
There was a friend of mine that during his first ever Dungeons and Dragons campaign, like he was unaware of the difference between brazier and brazier.
Rather important difference, actually. I must say.
He kept talking about these flaming braziers that were just all around the dungeon. That's like a bunch of radical feminists just burning bras everywhere.
Oh, right. So the equivalent of like, apparently for doing well in levels, you get bits of Mithril for like getting true adventure or beating the level and stuff like that.
Oh.
And then we're using them to forge equipment. So here, we forged a Mithril trowel. Because there's a man in fucking Bree who can forge Mithril.
Apparently so.
That makes sense.
I'm guessing that there will be more advanced and competent blacksmiths as our journey goes on.
And probably more advanced things than a trowel, so...
Yeah, you'd think if you had... So... It's worth noting this, but on the subject of Mithril, how absurdly valuable it is. So I remember Forbes did like a calculation as to who the wealthiest fictional character in history is, and they reckon that it's not Tony Stark, it's not Bruce Wayne. The most wealthy fictional character ever is in fact Smaug the Dragon.
I can believe it. Well, certainly, right. The line from Gandalf, which I kind of hate, and I can't remember if it's in the books. It's only in the extended version of Fellowship, where he's talking about Frodo's Mithril vest, and he says, I never told him, but its worth is greater than that of the Shire.
Yep.
Which partly has the problems that you talked about earlier with the fact that hobbits don't seem to have currency, and yet Gandalf has calculated the GDP of the Shire.
Yeah.
It's like there's lines like that, and like when Gimli talks about his axe being embedded in someone's nervous system and stuff like that just feels a bit too modern, which may have been why they were cut. But yeah, I can believe if one vest is worth the same as the Shire, yeah, I can believe that like Smaug or not Thorin, but whoever rules there as next king.
So Thrain is Dane of the Iron Hills.
Dane, he's king. Yeah, so king of the Mountain would probably be also up there.
Yeah, but if you imagine that like a single Mithril vest has the worth of a good size English county.
Of essentially the home counties.
Yeah. So and Smaug is sitting on like an army's worth of Mithril vests. He is the wealthiest fictional character ever.
That makes sense, yeah, because that's essentially that's like countries worth. There's a pig at the bar. Did you see that?
I did not.
There's a pig on its hind legs at the bar.
One of my other favourite lines, one of my many, many favourite lines from this film. Is Aragorn got like
a cocktail apparently?
Oh Jesus Christ!
I think this is gonna be a long cutscene again because I can't think when the next bit of gameplay is. Probably Weathertop.
It comes in pints. I'm getting one. Love that line.
But I think they have to be shown. They can't show beer in this because it's a PG.
Oh,
so I think that's why they have pints of like vegetables.
See, I've heard people get pissed off at this, like, oh, what are the odds the ring lands on his finger? And I was like,
you realise it's trying to do that.
Yeah, it's a sentient magical object. It can do whatever the fuck it wants to do. Is it worth discussing this early on to do Deep Cuts Nerd and discuss the Eye of Sauron? Or
see, Sure, why not? I always viewed, from reading the book, the Eye of Sauron is not a physical thing.
No, it is not. So
it's a term. It's like the swastika or something like that. It's the symbol, and it's the concept of like the evil eye or something like that. It's not
correct.
A giant fucking floating eye made of fire.
Aragorn locking them in the ladies' room. Outstanding.
That's the bloke's room. He's got two legs. He's not wearing a skirt, obviously.
Sorry, I mean, as the proud Scotsman I am, why can't men wear skirts?
Fair, very fair.
We do it all the time. It's manly, great big multi-coloured skirts. But yeah, I took it much as you did, like from having read the books a couple of years ago, that like the Eye of Sauron isn't like an actual red eye that exists. It's like a power that Sauron has.
Yeah.
So the line from the book is, he can see everything, but he cannot see everything all at once.
Yeah. Which doesn't mean he's a fucking searchlight looking around Mordor.
Yeah, I mean, for the purposes of the film, it's visually really interesting to have a giant eye made of fire, and
I've basically, after the films came out, I looked into this because basically, as I say, I fucking love the film's design of like Sauron in his armor, but you never see it. I looked into the books and basically was like, okay, is that actually a basis for that? And the answer is no. You don't see Sauron, but there's nothing to suggest that Sauron doesn't have a bodily form.
Yep, so in fact
Gollum talks about when Gollum's been tortured, and he reflects back on that later, he says, there are only 4 fingers on his black hand, but that is enough. Oh yes, precious, that is enough.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain as well, like, Sauron is implied to have a physical form in the books, so when Aragorn challenges him to come out at the Black Gates, when he goes to the Black Gates...
At the Lord of the Black Land, come forth!
Yeah, bizarrely...
Surprisingly Irish Aragorn.
Viggo Mortensen, the Danish actor, breaks into an Irish accent for reasons that are never made abundantly clear, but regardless, like when he challenges Sauron to come out and face him, the implication being that Sauron can come out and face him.
Yeah, that would be a bit of a bullshit challenge if Sauron was just known to be a giant floating flaming eyeball.
What is this thing? This is a big...
Oh, that's a ghost Mithril brick. I guess we have to do something to make it corporeal.
Corporeal is a very good word. Oh, there's
a
thing.
very good word.
Oh,
we need to get up Weathertops. See, this is the nice thing about the split screen, is obviously I can be miles away from you.
I'm just pummeling this rock with my puny hobbit fists.
Well, according to this arrow, we need to get up to Weathertop, but... there's just a path up here. That's way easier than whatever I was trying to do.
So, one of my favourite things that Games Workshop have ever produced, you can get a scale diorama sort of thing of Weathertop, and it's massive and gorgeous.
How big are we talking? On a scale from 1 to Necron Monolith, what are we talking?
It's bigger than a monolith. It's hundreds and hundreds of pounds, but like it is to scale.
So a Necron Monolith.
Yeah, precisely. But if you imagine, like, you know, the average man-sized figure that Games Workshop produces is 28 millimeters tall, then Weathertop is to scale with that, so it's pretty huge.
Wow, yeah, actually, that must be pretty cool.
I've
got on my desk at the moment, I'll put a photo of this up as well. So, Sprite, who's editing this, give me a shout at this point. I have a miniature on my desk, which I may need you to paint for me at some point, Bard. But it's a miniature of Mad Max, that is Karl Marx as Mad Max.
Outstanding.
And I love it. We're doing Weathertop. Hold on, let's pause for a second, because I'm out of Buckfast, so I will be back in a second.
I will entertain your viewership whilst...
Oh, good! This can't end badly at all.
Let me tell you in all the ways that how the Doctor is deviant and depraved. Delighted to be back, viewership of The Infamous Gentleman. I have no conception really what I'm doing here, so I'll just wait till the Doctor returns and we'll see what we're going to do. Hello, we are back. We are back, viewership of The Infamous Gentleman.
I imagine this is going to be a fantastic sound, so let's listen to it.
Oh, what have you got there?
Whiteley and Neil Blackberry Gin.
Ooh, that sounds posh.
It is.
I'm impressed, truly.
we did a thing, so it was my mum's 60th recently, and she was like, oh, let's do a gin party. This was like just in between the 2 lockdowns, so it was okay for us all to meet. But she was like, okay, everyone bring some gin and some tonic. And basically everyone brought like a small bottle of tonic and a massive bottle of gin. So there was 6 of us there, and there was about 7 litres of gin. And so basically almost none of it got done. So we've just had a lot of bottles of gin in our house ever since. So
excellent.
Here we are. That's quite nice, actually. Right, have you been doing anything gameplay-wise?
No, I thought I'd wait for you to return.
Why have I got a cooking pot?
We need to acquire, it looks like, firewood of some kind.
Oh, so we actually need to make the fucking fire on Weathertop and make twats out of ourselves.
Yeah, contribute to the idiocy. What
I'm guessing Frodo's asleep and he'll wake up with, "Put it out, you fools! Put it out!
Put it out!" What if
do you want to go and fish? What? Go on. What are you saying?
I want to see if we just don't make this fire and we just spend the night here, the entire trilogy goes very differently because Frodo never gets stabbed with a Morgul blade.
And everyone's kind of happier, really. We just slowly walk to Rivendell at our own pace, meet Gandalf there, and everyone's all good. Oh look, you got a fish. Brilliant. Okay, now you have a fish. Wonderful.
Oh no, then you have a frying pan? It seems to be there's a contextual cue here for frying pans.
Oh, can you put the fish in the frying pan?
I don't know.
We probably need wood first anyway. Oh, that's the first bit of actual Lego building we've done.
Did I just drop this? Okay, I dropped this. Maybe if I play as Samwise.
Oh, I'm going somewhere. Where the fuck am I going?
Great,
oh, I'm
so
up here.
I have the frying pan with the fish
Wonderful.
in it now.
Oh, we're making fish rather than sausages, tomato, and nice crispy bacon.
Nice crispy bacon, yeah. you beat me by 1 second.
That's still embarrassing, though, isn't it?
It's not great, let's face it.
Alright, let's... Oh, good. Eggs!
Oh, there we go.
Stabbed a bird's nest. Add that to your pan.
We need Lego wood to write this.
We
make
do.
The fire. Okay.
But at least we've got an egg and kipper now. Oh, here you go. You can dig here, can't you?
Can I?
Yes.
Oh, I can. Okay, excellent. Samwise is just as he is.
He's the man of the
films.
Moment, yeah.
He's the unsung hero of the trilogy.
Absolutely.
And tomatoes. Okay.
Oh, look at that! It says we've got barrow blades at this point, even though that scene wasn't in either the film or this.
Because they find them in.
Yes, it's just after Tom Bombadil, who doesn't even make it into the fucking Lego version of this.
There are reasons why that's the thing. I don't understand the fan base's obsession with Tom Bombadil.
Well, he's kind of bullshit. He basically talks about how he's essentially... You learn quite quickly he's essentially like an immortal god, but also like, nah, my power doesn't work here and I don't care either way. And it's like, cool.
As I recall, they say quite profusely, because it's discussed at the Council of Elrond if they could give the ring to Tom Bombadil, and they say no, he would make a very, very poor ring bearer.
Yeah. Well, it's because he's like an old pagan-style kind of force of nature, essentially, isn't he?
I'm told that there's all sorts of bizarre theories as to what he is. Like,
well, yeah,
he might be Eru, or he could be just like one of the 5 wizards who kind of lost his way. There's all sorts of theories who he could be.
And he just he puts on the ring and nothing happens. Hey, did you find the wood?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, good man.
I am literally saving your bacon.
Hey. Put it out, you fools.
What are you doing?
There we go.
Again, establishing Frodo as a much more competent adventurer than the other hobbits. But
also, not sausages, tomatoes, and nice crispy bacon. That was fish, tomatoes, and egg. But, close enough, game. Close enough.
It's not too bad.
Give it some poetic license, yeah.
Listen, I love the Weathertop scene in the films. Like, it looks gorgeous. The choreography is incredible.
When they're actually on top of the Weathertop. Well, not quite here. Oh, shit, ass. I fell off.
Okay, you've fallen to your doom. That's what you've done.
But yeah, like when they're at the top and there's like all the creepy old statues, and then like you're like, shit, where are they coming from? Then you see like the ring wraiths emerge from the fog. Like, it looks cool. My only issue with it is the top of Weathertop looks more than a lot of Lord of the Rings looks like a set.
It's all practical sets.
I know, but that one looks like it looks like part of like a haunted house or something like that.
No, I always thought the Weathertop looked really good.
I think it does look very good, but it's noticeable just because the rest of the film is also so good. Oh wow, I can grab onto shit. Oh no.
I might be wrong in thinking this, but I think Peter Jackson began his career as a horror director. And
he's done a lot of weird like New Zealand only released horror stuff. What was it? It was Heavenly Creatures, I think, was his first thing, which I've never seen but heard about.
But it explains why scenes like the Nazgul and like this scene at the top of Weathertop, why they are genuinely terrifying.
And the Shelob scenes and stuff like that are kind of scary as well.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, if you chuck it at that vine thing.
Or I could throw it at your fat
You
head.
could, but shit, well, you've already you chased me off the damn cliff. Nice.
Pardon me. Is it too early in our streaming to tell your viewership about my personal connection with Billy Boyd? So
here we go. Fucking rub it in, why don't you?
My personal connection with Peregrine Took.
Well, the actor. Peregrine Took is fictional, I'm afraid to tell you.
Nonsense! So, like, Billy Boyd, the actor who plays Peregrine Took, I have met him on several occasions, so a very good friend of mine, her father was in a band with Billy Boyd, the actor who plays Peregrine Took. So they're called B-Cake. I'll give them a plug. They're not too bad, actually. They're a kind of fledgling indie rock band. Give them a look. They're actually not too bad at all. But like on several occasions, like I've met him. But like the first time I met him was at backstage at one of his gigs, and I got to sing the Green Dragon Hobbit drinking song with Peregrine Took.
Holy shit! I didn't know that extension to the story.
So like I would love to say that like I was very cool, but like because my friend was like, "Would you like to come backstage and meet Billy Boyd?" And I was
you were
like,
a fucking fangirl, weren't you?
"Oh, I fangirled all over this man." I was like, keep it together. He's just a man. He's just a man. And then I actually met him in his dressing room backstage, and I was like, oh my god, it's a fucking hobbit. It's fucking. I'm meeting Pippin.
How tall is he? Is he a hobbit size? Well, not quite hobbit size, but is he?
He's a short man. Like
Yeah.
you know that way you meet famous people, and in your mind you picture them as being tall. I don't have that memory of Billy Boyd. He's quite a short fella. He was very lovely. Like, but I got to sing the Green Dragon drinking song with him backstage at his gig.
It seems
really,
literally
really cool.
like I'd say 1 in 5 people that I know who's like lived in Glasgow has got some story about meeting Billy Boyd, and I fucking haven't. I was there for 5 years, man. I'm still salty about it.
Of all the Glaswegian celebrities you could have bumped into,
I met Kevin Bridges once in Garage. That's the best I've got, and he's a bit of a twat.
Yeah, he's not a great guy, Kevin Bridges.
No, he's not. I say when I met him, I was like, he was at the bar. I was like, oh, it's Kevin Bridges. He was like, hey, pal, and then he just walked off. And I'm getting most of our audience don't even know who Kevin Bridges is. So mildly famous Scottish comedian.
Yeah, your astute viewership will have figured out like you and I both went to university in Glasgow at the same time, but ironically did not know one another.
Yeah, which is really funny. We were there both for 4 years at the same time, and only came across one another years later. Yeah, the same as Sprite. Like there are photos from nights out of me, and it looked and if the sprite isn't in the background of them, she's certainly nearby and was there on those same occasions.
Yeah, we were talking about this very recently, actually, that like in all likelihood, you, the sprite, and I were all in the same place at the same time, but just none of us knew one.
Probably fairly regularly, because I went to that club night basically every Friday for 2 years.
Yep, likewise.
Yeah, because it was cheap. Cheesy pop at the Union. It's great.
Those were good days. Anyway,
they were certainly days.
But we digress.
Oh yeah, we've been playing Lord of the Rings, haven't we? There we go. Top of Weathertop. Good one.
They put quite a bit of work into like the top of Weathertop.
Yeah, I think as well. Like compared to the
scene where like
it's so good. Yeah, when they all like come together and Sam, back you devil! It's so good. It's so good. Definitely, the cinematography is much more advanced in this than on the
Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. Like the camera work and like the lighting and stuff is just much more like a film than like a game. Which is, I mean, this is like half cutscene at this point, but that's okay.
This is actually good for the purposes of what we are doing, because like this is effectively a podcast with some game footage anyway. That's what we did for Lord of the Rings. And to be honest, if there's less gameplay on that, perhaps that's better. Oh, I'm in the spooky realm. Oh, you're in
shit.
The spirit realm.
I was going to call it the shadow realm.
I mean, it basically is.
I mean, yes. No. Oh shit, no.
Do I need to like ward them off you? Is that how that works?
No. You need to do something with constructing fires by the looks of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Seriously,
because they're afraid of fire, and then you probably launch a fucking torch at them, don't you? Whereas, what do I need to do? I've got an arrow up on. Oh, I've got a ghost fire. Can I help you with this? Yeah.
Okay. So, fire. Okay.
Excellent. Do fire. That'd be great. Obviously, Frodo could also just take off the fucking. There we go. That sounded good. There's a fire here as well. Not that helps.
Terrific. And then I can. Okay. I can light this. Brilliant. We're making progress.
Yeah, there's definitely more for multiple people to do. This kind of like split screen stuff where you do different things is pretty interesting.
I'm enjoying this much more than I was Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, I think they got the balance of cutscenes to gameplay and interest of gameplay just a bit better. I think.
Thus far, I would.
Yeah, agree. I mean, yeah. We are like 30% of the way into the first film. I don't know how many levels there actually are in this overall, but.
So, again, let's just explain to your viewership. When Frodo puts on the ring, he moves into the kind of, spirit world, hence he's invisible in reality, as it were. But the reason that he can see the Nazgul is that they exist almost entirely in the spirit world, because they are wraiths, and that's how that works.
Yeah, so certainly in the books, it's they can only be seen because they're wearing, the cloaks and shit.
Yep, they are basically invisible.
Because, in the books, they, take their clothes off. They, throw their hoods back, and they've got fucked up faces underneath, but that's invisible in the normal realm.
Exactly.
That's the Nazgul in like the world of the Nazgul is really fucking trippy in the 80s cartoon.
I would be fascinated to see that again. We need to watch it.
Yeah, scary, but more in a what the fuck kind of way than anything else.
I do remember that one of the things in the books, because elves exist simultaneously in the real world and the spirit world, when Frodo puts the ring on, elves are visible as like luminous, glowing beings.
Yeah, he basically like sees their souls essentially.
Yeah, I don't know where this final fire is.
Cool. I mean, I'm less than useless here. I'll be honest with you.
Can I do No, I can't interact with these things.
Got any arrows pointing anywhere?
No. I'll continue to wander around.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm basically just the Witch King's following me around. Ooh, there's some studs up here. Oh, I'll get them.
We were talking about this as we watched Return of the King the other night. But the Witch King of Angmar is just awesome in every possible respect.
Ooh, there's a glowy thing here. Sorry, go on.
I think you might. Can you interact with the glowy thing? I can't seem to do anything with it.
No, me neither. I mean, I can't really see much on this, to be honest.
Ow! I just burned myself in the fire. Samwise has learned that fire is bad! Can I jump?
Interesting.
Save us a save statue. That doesn't actually help us. Can I do anything with this? This seems to be a thing. But
yeah,
no,
but yeah,
Samwise
he looks at you like, what the fuck are you doing?
Anyone? Box. Frying pan. My spade. Let's get my spade out. Samwise's trusty spade.
Yeah, we remember that from the book, certainly. Can you... Oh, there's me. Hello, I'm spooky on your screen.
I'm not sure what there is for me to interact
with. There's something up in the right-hand side corner. There.
What's this?
Can you hit that with your spade, that thing? Whatever that is. No, not really.
No. Maybe can I fight the Nazgul?
Oh, there you go. There you go. That looks like that.
Oh, here. Oh.
Happy days.
Oh. No, maybe not.
Oh, well.
I just haven't smashed it good enough yet.
Well, there might be more shit you can smash then. I'm certainly, all I'm doing is wandering around here.
There's little, targets up here. I wonder if they do anything.
I think we haven't got the ability to hit them yet. Oh no, I got again.
Oh, I've just now turned on to what's happening on your screen, the Lego Spirit World Nazgul look kind of cool, actually.
They do, but they're kind of horrifying and trying to fuck me up for obvious reasons.
I really like the Nazgul in the movies. They just look cool.
Yeah, and just scary. The whole kind of faceless. They really took the phrase Black Rider and boy did they run with it and how.
Yeah. Apparently, can you imagine the horsemanship required for the actors who played them to ride horses at that speed in costume like that?
They were wearing. Here's the full total I can give you. They were wearing. Oh, there we go. Oh, I've done it. Excellent. I figured it out.
You have to do things. Okay.
So the full costumes they were wearing is something like 40 kilos of fabric on them to get the billowing right.
Oh, I've got a thing.
There you go.
Oh, I've got an update coming in on my thing.
Oh.
Pick a time. It's like an update.
Not now. Yeah.
That would be bad.
But yeah, to get the billowing right, you basically need loads of material to make stuff look like it's billowing, and they were wearing something like a couple of hundred... They're wearing like
these games make me laugh. I will give them that. They're not great games, but they make me laugh.
Yeah, they're wearing a couple of hundred square meters of fabric that weighs 40 kilos, and then they've got a ride on top of that.
That's incredible.
Almost all of the Nazgul that you see on camera are when they're riding a female.
Yeah, I heard that as well about the Riders of Rohan and Lord of the Rings. Most of them are women with false beards and
it turns out if you put a beard and a helmet on someone, it doesn't. Because when you think about it, because of sexism, most good horse riders will tend to be female, other than race jockeys.
Yeah. Is it worth discussing the role of female characters in Lord of the Rings?
Yes. Yeah, let's have that 2-minute discussion, and then that's it, which is kind of the point. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not great to be a female character in Lord of the Rings, really, when you think about it.
Well, you pick one of three.
Yeah. So Galadriel is the evil witchy woman who's basically
evil.
She
goes a bit spooky occasionally, but
yeah, but the subtotal of her character is evil. Well, not evil. Sorry, bizarre witchy woman.
Yeah.
Then we've got Arwen, who basically exists so that Aragorn can get laid at the end of the trilogy.
Yep. Gotta validate that male, yep.
Yep, so she's basically his reward. You done good, son. You defied the will of Sauron. Here's a nice elf princess for you to go and bang.
Eowyn's not bad.
Eowyn's awesome. And
shit.
if I'm ever privileged enough to have a daughter, like I would like to name her Eowyn. But
Yeah.
again, those are the three.
Like
female characters
her
in Lord of the Rings.
her fighting the Witch King is pretty good. The fact that she essentially her other role is being thirsty for Aragorn is less good. But
As we have discussed, it's entirely understandable why Eowyn is thirsty for Aragorn. But yeah,
I wish I hadn't used that phrase, but here we go. Have you got any torches, by the way? Checking your inventory with B. I'm pretty sure you have.
Is it necessary for me to have torches?
Yeah, because you use torches to set these dudes on fire.
Can you do that? I mean,
I am doing that, but I have to light a torch.
I'm but a humble
Dude,
hobbit. You're the heir
check
of
your inventory.
Eärendil.
Check your inventory. There you go. You got 2 bloody torches. So go up to the fire and light them with B.
Ow!
Or kill yourself on the fire. That's pretty cool too. I'll have those studs though.
Mr. Frodo, I can't take any more. Goodbye, cruel world.
Cast it into the fire.
How do I light the torch?
Press B when you're on the plate in front of the fire.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, there you go. And then use the attack button to hit the rider with it. Nice.
So I have a fun story about like Eowyn being thirsty for Aragorn.
Go on.
So
do this while you light up your final torch.
Yeah, I forget her name. So like the actress who plays Eowyn, she had never met Viggo Mortensen, however you pronounce the man's name. I think it's Viggo Mortensen.
If it's Norwegian or Danish.
I've heard it pronounced both ways, to be honest. But anyway, regardless, she had never met him, and she was apprehensive about doing scenes with him because, like, she arrived in New Zealand later than the rest of the cast, and she was kind of like, I don't know, a bit weirded out that she had to do kind of love scenes with a man that she had never even met. And like the director Peter Jackson was speaking to her, like, do you think that you can do this? I don't know, you and Viggo don't know one another very well. And she's like, well, what does he look like? Oh, that's him over there. And it was the scene where, like, in Edoras, where he jumps dramatically off the horse and sweeps his hair back. That was the first time she saw him. And Peter was like, do you think you could, work with this guy and like pretend to be in love with him? She's like, oh, fuck yes.
I reckon I can manage it.
Yeah, this ludicrously attractive man who just leapt off a horse and, by the way, is probably the best example of humanity we have yet produced. But yeah, I think I can fall in love with him.
About the story of him buying the horses. That he bought one of the horses that he used because he was like, well, I'm going to give it a good home.
Yeah, so again, can I give my rant about why I think Viggo Mortensen is probably the greatest human being currently alive on planet Earth?
Go for it.
So,
generally, if you start a sentence with, on this series with, can I give my rant, you're going to have a pretty much blanket yes from me.
It's just, we've got to parse these out, though. We've got a lot of Lego Lord of the Rings to get through. We can't exhaust all our good material in the first episode.
I'm sure we'll develop more. And also, it's been 1 hour and 7 minutes. This is not the first episode by any means.
Oh, good heavens. In that case, then, I'll give my rant about why I think Viggo Mortensen is probably the best human being alive on planet Earth. So, he's a published poet and recording artist, and is also Aragorn in these movies. So, like, he basically is, in real life, a poet, warrior, king, like you say.
But he was also Sigmund Freud in that terrible film.
In A Dangerous Method. I haven't seen it, but...
It's not good.
Yeah. My favourite thing about him in the making of The Lord of the Ring is that he carried at all times the fully weighted version of Aragorn's sword, like an actual metal sword, not a prop sword or a stunt sword. So he carried like a fully steel-forged version of all Aragorn's weapons because, I quote, he wanted to feel the weight of Aragorn's burden, which is just fucking excellent.
Yeah, see, I'm always torn because like sometimes when people do that level of method acting, like your Daniel Day-Lewis stuff, I can't shake the feeling it's because they're actually a wanker. Like Daniel Day-Lewis on the set of Lincoln insisting everyone call him Mr. President because he needs it to stay characters like, maybe you're just a twat though.
Well, I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis definitely is a twat, but like Viggo Mortensen, also the man who bought his horse at the end of Lord of the Rings because he didn't trust anyone else to look after it. I mean, like that's not the actions of a man who's a twat.
No, that's true. Yeah,
I choose to believe Viggo's a nice guy.
Similarly, wonderful stories about going, like the Hobbit actors all tell the wonderful story about going for dinner with John Rhys Davies, who plays Gimli.
Yes.
That apparently he just eats like. But I mean, the man is about 6'6". Which is hilarious because he plays a dwarf. But he basically just orders like a medieval feast whenever you go out for food with him. And he's like, we will order duck and chicken and bring through a ham. And it sounds exceptional. Because you wouldn't really tell from Gimli's accent, but he's like a proper like old...
Welshman, isn't he?
Yes, but he barely has that accent as well. He's just kind of got that old classically trained actor accent that just doesn't really...
Yeah.
That's hard to place.
Bizarrely, John Rhys Davies also plays Salah, like Indiana Jones' sidekick in the
Indiana
Jones movies.
Yeah.
Like he plays the
He's in Raiders of the Lost Ark, isn't he?